People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Now, people, is it me or it seems like everything has changed in a dancehall? It seems like from the six them get hot. It seems like from the six them start run the place. Everybody else is like they just exist. It's like they're just there in the dancehall space. Because people, if we remember back in 2018, and I am speaking about maybe a year ago, you have a lot of hot artists. We are talking about Massicka. We are talking about Popcorn. We are talking about TJ. We are talking about Tommy Lee Sparta. We are talking about artists that were doing their thing. But it seems like everything is now focused on the six. It is all about the six. It is all about squash. It is all about chronicler. It is all about Daddy One. And people don't get it twisted now. Artists such as a Massicka, they are still doing their thing. They have consistent songs out there. They are still trending on YouTube. They are still getting their shows locally and internationally. Their music is still up there. But like me said, it seems like the music changed. And the same thing can apply to Popcorn. Because when you look on Popcorn career, we see that in 2018 him drop a big time album. He was more consistent. He was all over the place. His name was buzzing all over social media, especially on YouTube. But my point is this, when we fast forward to 2019, he is still doing good songs. The quality of his songs and the production is still the same, but he is just not as hot. His name is not buzzing like about a year ago. So people like me say it kind of changed for Popcorn. And when we talk about Massicka, it is the same thing. And when we talk about Tommy Lee Sparta, it is the same thing. They still have their fan base. People are still listening to their music. But it is all about the six. And the truth and the fact is that the only artist that seems to be not affected or affected none at all by the movement of the six is Vybz Kartel, because we see that he is still trending on YouTube. He is still doing major moves internationally. His songs are still being played on the international radio station, so he is not affected. And when we also consider the fact that he has been incarcerated for over 8 years, it speaks volume to the type of artist that he is. And the fact that he is also linked with the six, and the fact that the six also gives Vybz Kartel credit, it only shows the caliber of artist he is. But when you talk about the other artists that were hot a year ago in the dancehall space, we see that things change. Because when you talk about the music from the six, we are speaking about an evolution that is taking place right in front of our faces. Because you see the music kind of get more slower, it kind of get more mellow, it kind of get more conscious, it kind of get more realistic gangster. So what we find is that artists that don't really have the gangster credibility is that they are kind of getting lost in the shuffle, because now the six is spotlighting, they are highlighting, they are making people in the dancehall space feel and see what real gangster music is like. They are really representing for the street, they are really speaking from the street, because they are really living this lifestyle. So the people that are fake, they are getting highlighted, they are getting exposed, point blank and period. So when we really check and see exactly what is going on in the dancehall space, I may talk about especially or specifically on YouTube, we see that these artists are now using their bloggers, and I am speaking specifically artists like Alkaline. He is now using the bloggers to hype him up and highlight him and gas him up, because the truth and the fact is that his songs are now average. And even though his songs are still consistent, they are basically average. So what is really happening in the dancehall space is that the general fans, I am talking about the average fans, they are now gravitating to a new sound. They are now gravitating to a new set of artists. So what we find is that every 5 or 10 years or so, the music start to evolve. So an artist that used to be hot 3 or 5 years ago, them start to sound old, them start to sound repetitive, them start to sound cliche, and people just want something new. And it seems like the six is bringing something new in the dancehall space. So that is a sound that the people in the dancehall space are gravitating to. They are gravitating to the new. So what we find is that other artists are getting lost in the shuffle. Other artists are just sounding average. Other artists are just making a little impact, while the six are making the biggest impact. And the only artist, like I said before, that is not affected by this, we are speaking about Vybz Kartel, because he was made for dancehall. He was chosen for dancehall. He is actually the chosen one in a dancehall. So whatever happens, whatever sounds, he can always adjust. He can always adapt to whatever sound is changing in a dancehall, because like me say, he is a legendary dancehall artist. He is one of the most versatile dancehall artists. So whatever sound change, him can always fit in, point blank and period. So what I also find that is happening is that these bloggers are now using psychology. They are using psychs. May I talk about blogger for specific artists, and I am speaking about specifically Alkaline. Because you see, say Alkaline blogger, them a fight over Alkaline. You see that Alkaline bloggers, they are posting, are making all sorts of live. Every day we are talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours per day. And they are trying to keep him relevant, because the truth and the fact is that even though him do some songs and those songs are basically average, and even though he is still making a little impact in the game, he is hyped up, he is gassed up by these bloggers who are constantly speaking all sort of things. They are always speculating. They are always saying what is the artist going to do. The artist is going to do this, the artist is going to do that. So people, what you find is that they are using psychology. They are trying to use all sorts of story. They are making up fake things, because they know that the Alkaline fans and stans are very vulnerable. So whatever they hear that is good about the artist, they are always going to gravitate to it. But the truth and the fact is that it is music that speaks, and if your music is hot, you do not need any blogger to kind of speak for you. The music should speak for itself. So the moral of the story is this: don't follow the hype, don't follow the gas up. It is all about the music. It is all about the music that is played on the radio. It is all about the music that is played in the dancehall space. And if you're hot, you're hot. And the artists them that are hot right now, we are talking about the six, and we're also speaking about Vybz Kartel. Everybody else is just average. Everybody else is just playing their part in the dancehall space. But right now, since 2018, a lot of artists fall off, point blank and period. So anyway, people, that is my view on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine, but let me know what you think in the comment section. So the next thing that is popping in the news are dancehall entertainment space that we saw that dancehall artist Massicka, he bought a brand new Ferrari truck, and people may talk about color red, may talk about fiery red. Now, them have a saying, it ain't tricking if you got it. But my mother always said, dog have money in buy cheese. That means sometimes when you're making a lot of money, when you're young, dumb, and full of you know what, you spend it on things that you don't need. And people like me say, or like I will make very clear, this is my disclaimer, I don't know Massicka's pocket. I don't know the amount of money that he's making. I don't know what he's charging per show. I don't know what amount of money he has in his bank account. But if him can't afford it, he has worked very hard. He has been trending. He has been popping for a couple of years. That means if him want to treat himself, he can go ahead and do whatever he so chooses. Now, people, when I look at the price of this car we are talking about in the 200,000 US, I am speaking about a $250,000 truck we are talking about in a US. And you have to also remember that when you take this vehicle, we are talking about a sports vehicle, we are talking about a top price car. When you take it to Jamaica, they are going to charge you up the ASS. May I talk about the customs? We are speaking about he might be paying the same thing for clear the truck that he paid for to buy this truck. Some people, when we add it all up, we are talking about in excess of $400,000 to $500,000 US. Now, people, we have to understand that Massicka is a hot artist, but we have to also compare a dancehall artist to a hip-hop artist. We are talking about a top dancehall artist versus a top hip-hop artist. We are speaking about they are true multi-millionaires, but are Jamaican dancehall top artists actually millionaires? That means that are they making in excess of $1 million US per year? I don't think so. But like we see in the dancehall space, it is all about hype. It is all about flossing. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it misconstrued. I am not saying that Massicka cannot afford this car. I am just saying that he needs to be careful. However, I have to give Massicka credit because I realize that he also built a brand new mansion. So my point is this: more than like when he bought that house or built that house, he paid cash. That means that it is a good investment. That means that he actually has assets. That means that if him get broke, at least him can rent the house or sell the house and he can live a normal life, point blank and period. So if you are a fan of the artist, you would have realized that he bought a brand new BMW less than a year ago, and he also built this big mansion. So now he is adding a Ferrari truck, and people, when they talk about Ferrari truck, we are talking about something new, we are talking about something brand spanking new. So therefore you see that he is stepping up his game. So now the other artists or other athletes in Jamaica, now them have to keep up, because it seems like Massicka gonna lead with this red Ferrari truck, point blank and period. So anyway people, that is my view on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.